call this meeting to order.
Roll call, Mayor Juarez,
Here.
President Newmiller,
Here.
Council McCarthy, here, Council Sutherland,
Here.
Council Butcher has an excused absence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. At this time, we are going to go into open discussion. If you would like to address the council, we ask that you do so by approaching the lectern and stating your name for the record. We do ask that you be mindful we do have a 5-minute timer, and we do honor and respect decorum in this council. So if you have any words that might be out of line with decorum, we have the right to ask you to rephrase or stop talking. So at that point, first one up, if you'd like to state your name for the record.
Hi there. Excuse me. Been sick for a week, so I apologize for my voice up front. My name is Marv Christofferson, and I just got a little story to tell you. I own Casper Discount Storage in town. And when I first opened my business, I was told that I needed to have the fire chief come down and inspect my building so that I could get my business license. I called him up, he came down to my building and he said, "What did you call me for?" He said, "We do not need to inspect these kind of businesses. There's no electricity in them, etc., etc., etc." So I went for many years just coming down, paying my business license fee and getting my business license. It was just a minimal fee, so it didn't bother me. Even though if I was in another place in the state, I would not have to pay it, but that's a different story. So then all of a sudden, last year, I guess it was the summer of 2024, I was refused my business license because I did not have a fire inspection done. And I've been, every year, it was on my thing that I didn't need to do it. Okay? So I complied, I called Will, I had him come down. He proceeded to tell me that one of the other mini storage places made him mad because he didn't think that Will needed to come down there and inspect his building. I agree with that owner, by the way. I don't know who it was, but we were told before that we didn't need to do it. So Will told me that he went back to his office and went through the fire codes until he found a way to punish that guy for making him mad, so that I had to comply with the same thing that he did. Okay? He wanted us to put fire extinguishers up on the outside of rented buildings rented by the public with full access to the outside. And I told him I didn't agree with that he was wrong. So anyway, after he left, I looked through the fire code. There was no place in the fire code that required us to do fire extinguishers on the outside of the building. I also called a neighbor that I used to have in Seattle when I used to design airplanes for Boeing, and he told me that since there was no threat to life and there was an access for each unit outside of the unit, that there was no need for fire extinguishers in a building like that. Okay? So I decided not to put fire extinguishers up because it's a large facility. To do his 75-foot requirement would cost me thousands of dollars. So I decided that I would just keep an eye on everybody else and see if they ever did anything. And in the last almost like a year and a half, one facility put up fire extinguishers, and of the other 7-ish mini storage places in this town, Nobody else did. So then, when I did my business license this year, I filled out his new form, and he rejected my business license because I didn't have fire extinguishers. So, I basically am adamantly refusing to do fire extinguishers because none of my competitors in Natrona County, in Casper, in Gillette, Sheridan, and every one that I've looked at for sale online in North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Colorado, none of them have fire extinguishers on. It is not required in the fire code. And it was made up to punish somebody because he didn't like the way he talked to him. So that's basically my basic complaint here.
Is it my understanding that what you're saying is you don't want to put fire extinguishers?
No, it would cost me $3,000.
How many fire extinguishers?
I would have to do 16 of them. This is a large, and I'm only a third or 2/3 of the way done with my facility. So I took a piece of land that you were getting $600 a year in property taxes on. My property tax bill this year was $10,600. I improved that property and I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars every year that you would be getting sales tax from. And I improved that property. And I'm only 2/3 of the way done. I have made offers to Steve Lofton on his land next door. I was planning to expand it 3 times the size of what I have the land available for. But I cannot do that if I have to spend thousands of dollars more than my competitors do. That's absurd. And if nobody else in the country has to do this, why would I have to do it here? There's no reason. I deal with inspection, I deal with Kevin all the time because I build the buildings. I've dealt with building inspectors and other inspectors. I've had other businesses my whole life. And if I believe an inspector is wrong, I challenge them. I make them show me where it is, and it needs to be clear and direct. And then I expect to see everybody else complying in the same way. So, I do not want to be singled out because I'm a type of person that talks back. I don't just cave in.
So it's my understanding that all of the other facilities are now in compliance with the
No, they
fire
are not. I just
extinguishers.
drove past 3 of them on the way here today, tonight. None of them are in compliance.
Okay, so we'll go and we'll check
So
that.
you need to drive through. There's 8 of them.
So the
Just
issue
drive in
is,
front of them. None of them comply except for AA rentals on the top of the hill.
so the
Ed.
issue is not, we can't hinge the ISC and the building codes based on whether or not people are complying. So even if those other.
No, you're
Sir,
missing the point.
Please don't interrupt me, I'm trying to finish my statement.
I'm sorry.
So what I'm trying to say is that the code is the code. We're not in charge of enforcing it in other municipalities, we enforce it here. And so we'll follow through with the other facilities and we'll enforce our code that we've elected to follow as a council. This is an international building code, by the way, and it's an international.
I
fire
understand
code.
that more than you do apparently, because everybody in the country essentially follows the same code. You may elect to modify your code in difference to that, but it must be on your books. And if no other jurisdiction that I can find in the United States of America does this, are you telling me that your fire chief is smarter than everybody else in the country? That he can read it better than anybody else?
So are you
That's what
claiming-
you're telling me.
Are you claiming that storage facilities don't need fire
No,
extinguishers?
storage, this type of building.
So a
It's the type of
building
building.
doesn't need an
It's a
extinguisher.
building. If you had a storage facility that had an indoor space where people had to access it indoors, then you would need fire extinguishers.
Aren't most facilities accessed
Oh, no.
indoors?
You know what a mini storage facility is? I'm sorry.
I mean, I'd argue that majority of buildings, you're accessing them indoors, not outdoors.
No. We are all outside, almost all of us are outside access. Drive up, the customer drives up on the outside, opens their door, either removes their stuff, puts their stuff in, and closes the door and drives away. Their drive-up access. And that type of building does not require fire extinguishers.
So the option here is to, I believe, I'll refer to the attorney, is to apply for a variance request
No.
to do this.
Well, actually, the code is what it is. I don't believe a variance would actually be capable of being granted under these
So-
circumstances.
So what,
So you have to comply with the code.
my question to you is, if nobody else thinks that, even though they all follow the same code as you
Well,
do.
frankly, you're flat out wrong. Everybody always says the law doesn't apply to me for some
No,
reason.
it's not that it doesn't apply to
Sir-
me.
Sir,
It's
the
that-
law is what it is
Okay.
here. This is a very widely applied code.
It's not.
It is. You've had
So,
You've had more than 5 minutes
Yeah,
to
you're-
pitch your
I
case.
agree, and I
So-
appreciate your time. I really do. I didn't want to fight it, but I don't want to spend $3,000. My business only makes $6,000 a year. You're taking half of my profit. Okay? Now, if it was something that I could see everybody doing even one person in this whole state.
Well, that could be
But there's
arranged
not.
quite easily, actually, well within the municipality. So you're agreeing.
Well, I agree,
You agree now that if even one of your competitors is
No.
oh, you just did.
Well,
No, yeah, you've
Well,
said
I-
if even one can be shown, you will agree to
There-
comply.
here's the deal.
No, you're not.
I
no.
will agree to comply.
Okay.
I will agree to comply, but I'm here to tell you that I'm done with mills. I was going to expand my business 3 times. You are going to lose thousands of dollars in tax receipts because
Well,
you
effectively are.
cannot see my argument.
Can't let this run.
And I do not understand why you cannot see my argument. I am a business. I wanted to be here. I chose to be here. I voted to be annexed into Mills when I first opened my business.
Well, sir, thank you. You're well over the 5-minute time.
I
limit.
agree.
We appreciate
Have a
your.
good night.
I know. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry
all right.
that I have to
But we
leave
have
this
other, we
community.
have other people who wish to speak.
I do want to clarify, and I think it's a large misunderstanding, that the majority of property tax doesn't actually go to the city, it goes to the school districts in the county for.
Schools are paid by
us.
severance taxes. I'm sorry.
And another note of, it's pretty interesting, but I had just purchased myself 6 fire extinguishers for my business in Casper that I have to comply to, and for 6 of them, brand new, was $220. So, I think it's the cost of doing business, and it's part of our obligation as business owners to make sure that the public is safe and we're following those rules.
Oh, hi.
Would you like to speak?
Yeah, so just a point of clarification, the other storage facilities, we are not currently 100% in compliance. We have 3 facilities that are 100% compliant, 2 that were partial, and then 2 more that were completely out of compliance. We have made contact with all the other facilities, and all the other facilities are in the process of getting compliant. As far as Mr. Christofferson's comments about the International Fire Code, so all the facilities received the excerpts from the fire code explaining where I came up with my decision about these fire extinguishers being required. So the first point was defining what type of occupancy a mini storage facility was. And it literally spells out self-service storage facility in parentheses mini storage, which is what these facilities are. They're classified as a moderate hazard S1 occupancy. So then, referring to section 906 of the fire code for portable fire extinguishers, it says, where required, portable fire extinguishers shall be installed in all of the following locations: in new and existing groups, all through the letters, and S occupancies. Then there's a table that references what type of fire extinguisher a moderate hazard occupancy has to have, and it is simply, it has to have at least a 2A rating. That was the only specifications. Now, there is a lot of misinterpretation on the 75-foot rule. The extinguishers do not have to be placed every 75 feet. They have to be placed so that no matter where somebody's at, they can get to one within 75 feet. So if you start at the end of a building, you go in 75 feet, then basically you go another 150 feet to get to your second one, because if you were standing in between the two, you would be 75 feet away. I have offered to all the facilities to go in with them and measure to the best of our abilities to minimize the amount of extinguishers that are required while still meeting the intent of the code.
Didn't we have a facility that had a fire incident not that long ago?
We did, and it was actually what would have been the third one to come into full compliance before they actually got their fire extinguishers mounted, actually had a vehicle fire within their yard. So, and luckily it did not extend to any of the buildings. And they did not have a fire extinguisher. I believe it was a law enforcement officer that got there and was able to use their extinguisher to extinguish the fire.
Perfect. I appreciate you clarifying some of those points.
Thank you, Mark.
Do we have any other comments?
Hi, I'm Connie Hegemock. I want to talk about Service and Sacrifice Park. I am very confused regarding our Service and Sacrifice Park and why the city and the nonprofit don't seem to be able to work collaboratively on this park. This park was name changed from Mills Memorial to Service and Sacrifice Park to better reflect its purpose when built. It is my understanding that this park, when complete, will be something the entire Casper metropolitan area can be proud of. It will become a must-visit place because of the educational, history sharing, and lifelike sensations and experiences it will provide for its visitors. I think it will put Mills and the Casper area on the map. I have 3 questions that I'd like you to explain to me. 1, can you please explain to me why we have a nonprofit set up for this park when we don't have that for any other of our parks? Number 2, why is there such an issue over this park when it is still owned by the city? And my 3rd question is, why do other communities have projects such as this where everyone works to the goal and the vision and Mills can't seem to do it?
You finished right in that last question. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So the nonprofit is a group seeking to fund the remodel of the Service and Sacrifice Park, and the goal of that group is to take the burden off of the taxpayers by finding people who believe in the vision, the park being featured on focused for veterans and first responders. And so people from the community, the veterans group, first responders, they've really rallied behind this, and so this is something that they want to see. So the group is working to fund that, so that way the city, the goal is that the city will have a little to no financial impact, thus the residents would have, no tax impact in that way. So that's the goal of the fundraising. I wish I had a good solid answer for you on why there's an issue with this park. I just don't think I have one that's probably politically correct. I wish that there wasn't an issue with this park. And kind of going into your 3rd question, there are cities currently working with nonprofits, elected officials, council members, helping to fundraise so that they can take that burden off of the residents and build these parks. I mean, we've got Bar None as a shining example of how council and staff and a nonprofit on city land can work in harmony together, and I think that should be an example for us here. So it's disheartening that we've had so many wrenches thrown into it for a goal that seems to be pretty straightforward. I don't, I don't know why this specific park is an issue, and, you know, there's been nonprofits that have helped fund other things. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but yeah. Maybe one of the other council members would like to comment on some of your questions.
Then your answers, Mayor, brings another question to my mind of, if this fundraising takes the burden off the taxpayers, why the issues? And it's a win-win for everybody.
It really is. Yeah, you know, the hardest part about being an elected official is navigating personalities and different beliefs and different positions. And so just because one elected official agrees with something doesn't mean another one does. And so you see a lot of sidelining or underhanded decisions that maybe derail things. And that's common in any arena that I step in as an elected official. You know, it's just disappointing because it has a good intent all the way around. So it just comes down to personality sometimes.
So what do we do to solve the issues and get some cohesiveness here?
I think that's a great question. We're trying to resolve it amongst the group. Like I said, it's political drama sometimes, and I wish I had an easy solution and an easy answer, but sometimes things are made more difficult because it's political. But we are trying to work hard to resolve it, and we've got the attorney lending a hand as well to try to clarify some of the roles and how we can find a way to work in harmony here, just like Barnett and Casper do. Casper does all the time. So,
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for your time. My time's up.
Your time's up. Thank
Thanks.
you. Oh, Scott.
Man, material just presents itself down here, don't it? I had one thing and I'm gonna go to three.
Shoot.
So the park. You know, Governor Friedenthal said something real good one time, and it should be to all politicians. It don't matter whether it's good for you, if it's good for the town, or the state, and good for the people. Take that to heart.
yeah.
The other thing is fire extinguishers. People that don't have fire extinguishers need to see how fast it saves your hot rod in your building, and then it's cheap. The fire extinguishers is also something you said you bought 6 of them for your business. Well, that ain't the only expense on it. Every year I have to take mine to the fireplace and have them recharged or serviced or whatever, so we do have expense there. But that peace of mind is worth something.
I
I mean,
agree.
I've had cars on flame in my shop and over stupidity, and you're not in control of everything when you're working on something, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why they call it an accident. Okay, the other thing that's my main concern anyway is my street and my fire extinguisher, or fire plug. If something don't happen to where Harriet or whoever gets this money, these grants and stuff to help you, how are we gonna address this? Because this is something that's been promised to me for years. Money was there and got spent by people that wasn't any of you guys. And enough is enough, and I am gonna be a pain on it and ask you all the time about this, but we need to dig deep and figure out how. At one time, I even offered to have somebody come in and do the excavating to get the plug out of there, but then now that we find that we don't know where the shutoff is, I can't volunteer that,
Yeah.
and liability to that. But, you know, at one time I was gonna hire Nick or Danny or somebody, Spurgeon, and say, hey, I'll dig it down to here, and just get the hell out of my driveway, I'll pay for it. But as a citizen, I shouldn't have to do that. Especially when there's been grants. I know there's been grants more than once. And, you know, if we dug through all the paperwork and all, I went down and got into the minutes, I probably could find my promises, but that's not my job neither, to go look that up.
The good news is it passed the House.
Okay,
Now the
Thank
next hurdle is Senate,
Thank
so we're hopeful. Put in a phone call to Barajas and Lamas, that'd be helpful. Say we need that.
well, I'm not their biggest fan, so that might not be good.
Wouldn't that be a good idea?
I probably ought to stay out of that.
We might, what I might do is have the guys look into the expenses and the anticipated,
Absolutely.
you know, what.
Well,
how
you know,
we do that.
Realistically, the fire plug don't scare me as much as the Band-Aid on the main out there.
Just
Realistically.
a reason for not replacing the fire hydrant right away, because
It's
Yeah.
just gonna break
the
down the
pressure on
line.
that will move, and they know that.
Yeah,
Which is why
surge,
we're
surge.
yes,
Pipe
we're waiting
rattle.
on that, for that.
Yeah, that's pipe rattle. That's why they make you anchor pipes inside houses so many feet,
Yeah.
so many inches.
Yeah.
And pipe rattle, on and off, can't just turn valves on, you gotta break them on slow.
Yep.
So, but that's the big concern is if we do have a disaster out there, and you know, and the other thing is, you damn sure don't want it, there's 2 times of the year you don't want it. You don't want it when it's froze.
It can happen.
And it can happen anytime. And you don't want it happening, doing it when everybody's in high use of water.
Yeah.
And so you got windows. It's like road work.
Mhm.
You have small windows. And I understand that. I've been, you know, construction my whole life. I listen to people gripe about things that don't get done on houses or this and that, and they don't understand in Wyoming, you fight the weather. And you fight some things, and there's small windows, and there's inconveniences, and then people will bitch about these developments that you guys got going on, and they'll gripe about all this stuff to you guys about these developments. But do they dare come down here and tell you thank you when that development's full and the price of their house went up? Yeah, their taxes are gonna go up too, but do they thank you when the resale value of their house goes up? Absolutely not. They're hypocrites.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak in open discussion? All right, seeing no one else, move into ordinance number 833, first reading. An ordinance establishing an appeals board for the city of Mills, Wyoming.
I move that we approve ordinance number 833 on a first reading.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-01. This document sets forth fixed asset accounting procedures for the city of Mills. These policies define fixed asset systems, maintenance, capitalization, depreciation guidelines, and inventory guidelines. The document sets forth fixed asset accounting procedures for the city of Mills. This policy defines fixed assets, system, maintenance, capitalization, depreciation guidelines, and inventory guidelines. Then we should say that twice.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-01.
Second.
Any discussion? How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-02. Resolution of the City of Mills, Wyoming, designating the banking institutions to be used for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-02.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-03, resolution fixing the tax levy for the city of Mills for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-03.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-04, resolution certifying compliance with the Wyoming statute section 24-2-111.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-04.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-05, a resolution adopting and confirming equal opportunity employment.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-05.
Second.
Any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-06, adopting a current understanding of the meaning of newspaper at law.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-06.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-07, a resolution adopting and confirming City of Mills non-discriminatory practices.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-07.
Second.
Any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution number 2026-08, a resolution setting water and sewer connection fees.
I move that we approve resolution number 2026-08.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I just have a question. Are you raised for the catering permit?
Yes.
Okay, motion to
I
do that
move that
separate.
we approve the Bayou Liquor catering permit for 1/18/26.
Second.
Is there any discussion? How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Do I have a motion to go into an executive session for a legal matter?
Move that we go into executive session for a legal matter.
Second.
How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
You guys are good to go.
So I'll,
Council has returned from an executive session, and just to clarify, that's Councilmember Sutherland, Councilmember McCarthy, Councilmember Newmiller, and Mayor Juarez, with an excused absence of Councilmember Butcher. That being said, no action was necessary.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
How does council vote? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.